Hey all, it's Wale. Super Smash Bros. True version 1.4 has been out for almost 3 months now, and the general perceptions on characters' viability has really started to settle in. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my personal tier list and where I think everyone belongs. Also, if you want credibility, I was ranked 6 on the last PR, and I've been playing for around 4 years and been ranked in other PRs too, so you can be sure this information will be at least slightly accurate, I hope. Also, shout out to the other top players that contacted for advice when making this list. Also, for more SSF peak content, hit the sub button, I appreciate it. And with that, let's start with... Unfortunate as it is, Tails is the only character I could justify putting in the low tier, because this patch, he just feels like a completely whole new level of terrible. It's really sad too. He got a lot of really nice new animations and got his flying up B back, but so many of his moves and gave him real utility and pressure were just removed. Down tilt used to be really good for combos and popped up really nicely, but now it just sends at this weird angle that you don't really need. And up air used to kill, but same issue, it kind of just hits the opponent. It's a little bit of a semi-spike, but they even got rid of a tech called tail stashing, and the community was so pissed they even made a petition to try to bring it back. I don't know, I think this character has a lot of potential. I could see what they were going with his moves, but yeah, they're gonna have to do a lot more polishing with him to make him even slightly viable. Starting at the low mid tier, we have Ganon, who yes is still technically the second worst character in the game, but I think he got some pretty decent quality of life changes this patch, the biggest one being a down throw that actually combos consistently into a lot of his moves, and they also gave him a quality of life buff to his down air, warlock kick, and smash attacks not whiffing at point, and the smash attacks in particular not whiffing at point blank. But at the end of the day, he is still Ganon. He's slow, he'll get run down. If he can use his pressure, he'll definitely still have a big presence on stage though. Up next is Kirby, who is finally not the worst character in the game now. He got buffed a lot this patch, a lot of his moves getting decent changes, like fair connecting more consistently. I kind of want to believe that, but at the same time, I don't know. You got a new dash attack that's decent, you got a movement speed buff, but as much as I'd love to be optimistic and rank him higher, the buffs really don't do enough for him. He's still extremely stubby, gets outran by a lot of the cast, and outranged, and doesn't have a lot of fear factor with any of his tools besides maybe F Smash, which is pretty laggy. So yeah, I guess Inhale is really good, it's kind of stupid you could do with Inhale, but you still gotta be up close and scrap. So I guess he'll be here for now. Next up we got Zelda, who's remaining on the lower end. It was a little bit hard to place her because she did get some really nice sprite touch-ups and a new ult, but and even got some new changes to her moveset, like her down throw kind of just stuns you a little, and it's kind of a combo throw. But they didn't really change a lot about her main strengths. They kept her up smash exactly the same, which is really good, and she still is insanely scary up close, especially with pressure. But, she didn't really get any substantial buffs. She's still really slow, kind of stubby, and relies a lot on her opponent getting hit by her huge transcendent hitboxes. You do not want to get hit once by her because you can end up taking 50% in one interaction. Side B got a buff where you don't need to hit an opponent to activate the explosion hitbox. So there's that going for her, but she didn't really get too many buffs. The King is debuting as a bottom 5 character on my list. As a heavy, it was almost expected. Now don't get me wrong, he has some insanely raw kill power. His forward air is huge and kills absurdly early. I was actually really surprised at this rework in his move, and it just has such an overwhelming presence in neutral thanks to his Gordo and his disjoints. And his up B armor lets him plank forever. I feel like not a lot of low tiers have a huge niche, but in competitive, but DDD can literally just sit at ledge forever if you really wanted to, because you have so many mix-ups and you can't really hit him out of it. But that's kind of where it ends, because if he lets his opponent in once, especially in SSF2's punish game, he might just be dead. He also has Inhale to deal with zoning, but for many zoners that can throw out multiple projectiles, it's not really doing much for him. So he's gonna be here for now. I have optimism that he can get the right buffs and not just be a planking demon and maybe move up in the future. Mega Man also moving down quite a decent bit. He got decent buffs like his up B getting a hitbox, as well as Dare Spike being a lot more consistent since there's not really 2 hits anymore. It kind of just goes straight into the spike. But he didn't really get any buffs. A lot of them were just changes and tweaks to a lot of his moves that weren't working properly, and one of these actually worked for his deficit because it was being water wave, which just didn't really work functionally. You couldn't really reflect it, and it also did 50 million% if you attach a side B to the opponent. Shout out to Piano for showing all that in the last patch. But yeah, that just kind of didn't work well for him. So like it's fixed, so it just overall makes that sort of niche for him worse. And also being a zoner in this meta is just bad, as you'll see from the higher placements. Pac-Man also dropped a lot this patch for me because it was a very similar reason to Mega Man, because Hydrant can finally be reflected properly, so this messes a lot with like his setups, which are so oppressive in neutral. Since the opponent couldn't really do anything against them, like you can originally like even if you perfect shielded the Hydrant coming at you, it would still just kind of go. It wouldn't really have a threat to Pac-Man, but now anyone can just perfect shield the Hydrant back, so it messes up with a lot of the pressure that he had last patch. And on top of that, they also nerfed back throw's kill power, which I agree with this. This is a kind of stupid kill move, which is attached to a ginormous crab. And it was a main way of taking stocks, and they also didn't really compensate him with like any buffs at all. So it's pretty sad. Hopefully they give him some love next patch, because I'm all for technical characters in this game. Next up we have Pit, who is staying relatively in the same spot as before. All of his moves got changed pretty like drastically, and they all have new properties. Like the biggest change being that he can't do the drag down combos that he could do last patch, because the main moves that he did them with, like Nair and up air, yeah, these two moves in particular are just reworked so that they're guaranteed to like connect all like the hits, so you can't really cancel them with a fast fall or anything. So it's very much like Ult Pit, but worse because it's SSF2's engine. So this really crumbled his punish game, but hey, at least his back here got a huge buff. Like, this thing is insane. It kills really early, surprisingly, right now, and it's not really hard to land the sweet spot as much anymore. Like, this thing kills at like 60 in some scenarios. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, he's staying around the same. He's alright. Lloyd might be one of the most nerfed characters next to Tails this patch. He was done so dirty, and he's fallen off from his top tier grades from literally every patch in the game before this. Now don't get me wrong, like, this character looks absolutely gorgeous. I think the animations do a lot of justice to his home series, a lot more than, you know, he had like 80 sprites last patch in total. But, you know, they took out a lot of tools that made him a good character, so no more 2-frame insanely big back air, no more aerials out of up B. His recovery, they made it insanely bad. It's actually the worst in the game, I'd argue. And I kid you not, he literally cannot breathe off stage. He'll just die. You miss the ledge a lot, like, for no reason. I think he definitely has a worse recovery than Marth. He's basically Little Mac without, like, any like on-stage presence. Like, he does have an on-stage presence. He has dish joints. He's a swordy, and like he has like okay sword moves, I guess. But just like don't get thrown off stage, or you'll just die. And at least up smash and dash attack are actually like two moves that are very good for him. Like they're both surprisingly kill super early for no reason. So he does have like some threat factor, but that's just kind of where it ends. He needs some major buffs before he can be viable again. Moving into mid-tier, we have Luffy moving down a little bit from last patch. Well, the main reason is he can no longer get his double jump back from his side B, which, for one, he can't really do the infinite, but also this hampers a lot of his punish game, because even doing like 2 or 3 of them to like position your opponent higher than you just really helped a lot. And they gave his down B a reflector, but it didn't really change much, because, I don't know, I feel like he didn't really struggle from zoning in the first place. And he also got a nerf to his up B for some reason, so now he has to be extremely precise with grabbing the ledge. He kind of just die off stage. It's pretty sad. Like, he's in a kind of bad spot, so I hope the devs kind of compensate the side B nerf with other ways to extend his punish. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I'm low-key an S-believer this patch. He got a lot of substantial buffs to his kit all around, like for example decreasing the start of it and lag of all of his aerials, a better grab, and his up B sends further and actually kills. I have no idea why it was just so bad like the previous patches. Like, you could literally get hit by this thing at like 60 or 70 and still be living. But nest mains are definitely eating now. I think I placed him a little conservatively, to be honest, but I think I'd love to see more of what this character can do, because he got some long deserved buffs. Luigi got a nerf to his fireballs, which is one of the main nerfs this patch, because his neutral relied a lot on those to like get in and kind of condition approaches. And now there's a cooldown timer, so he can't really like spam them, in a similar situation to Mario, which we'll get into later. But yeah, it brings him down for me a lot. And that being said, he's still really oppressive in advantage state, since he could do like 70% off one opening, since like up air and down air kind of just like extend forever, and up B setups weren't touched at all. And he also still has his extremely fast up smash that So yeah, he's still okay. Isaac is another character who had one of the biggest fall-offs with the change in versions. The biggest change is that his hand is now clankable, it's no longer transcendent, which removes a lot of utility from it. For example, a lot of up Bs that have a decent sized hitbox will kind of clank with it sometimes, so you can't really gimp as easily. And also his neutral just becomes a lot more difficult since people can kind of just like clank out the hands. And the hand also dies if Isaac gets hit, which was supposed to be a mechanic but just wasn't in it last patch. So yeah, things got pretty rough for him in terms of like his gimmick, and he could still do Isaac things though from last patch. Like it'll just be a lot harder than before to worry about hands management and that sort of thing. Like he could still do stuff like up throw up air, and like he's still pretty egregious. At the top of the mid tier we have Bomberman. Bomberman is one of those characters that can consistently just sits in the middle tier. He kind of got a buff to his grab and up B, but other than that, not too many changes. I think he has this kind of niche because moves like Fair have this really nasty like semi-spike angle, and like the punish is also really good, like especially like chaining up airs and nairs. But other characters like in the higher tiers just have a lot of ways to interrupt him from setting up his main gimmick, which is like bombs, and he's still pretty stubby aside from like setting up bombs on stage and stuff. And he's also a fast faller with linear recovery, but don't let him set up, otherwise you'll be dying sub 50. Alright, starting off in the upper mid tier, we have Walu. A lot of his moves got changed or reworked, and since I don't know a lot about the character, I'm just going to be trusting the best Walu player at the moment, Billy. And he said that he just got a lot worse in general. He could still be a menace though, because if you know like all the plant setups, you could basically play a 2v1 against your opponent sometimes. It's pretty insane. He's really fun to watch. But yeah, he's one of those glass cannon characters also, which you wouldn't really expect because how tall he is. He gets comboed really easily and also has a pretty linear recovery. So yeah, he's alright being higher mid here. Meta Knight, man, I hate what they did to my boy. So he fell off a lot from last patch. Again, the animation's beautiful. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better respray. But they took away so many of like his tools and what made him good in SSF2. And the biggest thing for me is his 2-hit fair for the ult 3-hit. The move is okay, it's better than I thought it would be. You can use it a lot more for neutral since it's an actually kind of big disjoint. But the opponents fall out of it so much, and sometimes you just get straight up launched in the wrong way. Like, I don't know why reverse hits are still a thing like that. And he has like a lot of nerfs like that took away from his absurd punish from last patch. Like I think he's a little bit slower, to be honest. His back throw, he kind of puts himself like to the side of the opponent, which he didn't do last patch, so you can't really follow DI as easily. I don't know, he's kind of just a down tilt bot, and you just kind of hope your ladders work. He definitely needs a lot of tweaks to make his moves work properly, and he can move up a little, because ladders are still oppressive, and honestly, they made a change to Tornado. I think Tornado feels a lot easier to hit, but yeah, he's alright, I guess. Wario is a character that went up a decent amount. He feels like a real character now with real threats to his moves, like a bigger nair and down air, and he got a lot of buffs in his favor. A lot of things kind of fixed like his inconsistencies. Also, the side B animation is awesome. I love the loyalty to the games. A lot of the moves are actually pretty scary to get hit by now. He needs a much bigger presence off stage, but unfortunately he still does suffer from stubby hitboxes and being slow, and he's by no means a bad character anymore. Link, the nerfed character this patch. No more up tilt spam, down air doesn't kill you at 60 anymore, bomb arrow got hit with a nerf so you had to actually charge it to hit like a truck. He got pretty hard, but they didn't really touch his zoning capability outside of the bomb arrow. Bombs are still really good for like just about everything, like boomerang plays neutral for you as usual, and he's still, but he mainly got hit with the nerfs with his up close range, so he's not like a Shoto in last patch where like he can just up tilt you at 50 times and like kind of kill you. But yeah, I think his zoning is still good, so I think he's still in a decent spot, and I think this kind of where he should be, because, you know, he's Link. Rayman also fell off a decent amount. They decreased dash attacks active frames, like, so it's still busted, but, you know, it's a little bit harder to get. F Smash got end lag nerfs finally, and I think side B got nerfed as well. I don't know, it feels slower, I just can't really tell. I think you could shield it? I don't know. He's still solid, he still has down tilt and a command grab, pretty good punish. You can't really get away with mashing Unga Bunga though, and like kind of get away with it. Bowser, moving up a lot, thanks to his up B now being a reflector, he really doesn't struggle with zoning at all anymore. So yeah, that's right, I did a poll recently and not a lot of people are actually aware of the change, but it's true, and this helps him a lot with his problem matchups, especially with how fast up B comes out. They also actually made a change where you can actually like auto cancel the up B on the stage when you're recovering, so you can like kind of combo it out of like when you're recovering. I think that was also a really good change. So yeah, if you're tired of Bowser main spamming up B, get ready for a whole lot more of it. Peach staying roughly in the same position. She didn't get that many changes this patch. She actually got a lot of new animations, and I think stuff like her nair actually got bigger from the animation changes, but it's not really said. But that being said, she's still really insane. Like she can still do her 0 deaths as usual. She's still a really competent character. It's just that a lot of her bad matchups like Game & Watch, oh, I'm gonna spoil. But yeah, like you have a lot of bad matchups in the higher tiers. Alright, now into the A- tier. These are characters you can definitely place in a bracket if you play your gimmicks and cards right. You could argue that they could be placed higher if they're played like a task, but I chose a middle ground for this. Starting off, we have Naruto. He got a lot of love from his new moves and updated sprite work, so a lot of like inconsistencies with his animation were fixed, and like he got new stuff like a new jab and a new F smash, which is like the F smash is insane. It kind of kills really early and it's huge. He's kind of like Mario, where he kind of just has a lot of tools for any situation, except he has like an insane punish game to boot with it. Also, note the most important change here. But yeah, his recovery is still not the greatest, and yeah, he's kind of like an all-rounder. Kind of what you would expect. Next is Simon, who did fall off, but it's alright, because you can't really auto-cancel his cross by short-hopping it. That's the main thing that hampered his zoning ability by a good amount this patch. They gave landing lag an extra frame to him and decreased his walk speed. That's like, whatever. He kind of got a slap to the wrist. It's more so just a change in meta that dropped him with so many rush downs in the higher tiers, but he's still solid. You can still do well with him. Black Mage staying roughly the same, a little lower. They made some interesting changes like making up air bigger but a projectile, so like ult, Game & Watch kind of like up air, and I think the biggest thing was that they changed his up throw, and the up throw has this like cool gravity magic thing, which I didn't know. It actually does 18% at 0, but it's like a scaling thing, so it decreases as the opponent takes more percent. It's overall just a better combo throw than the last one, and I could definitely see Black Mage being put higher, but it definitely feels like a lot of the higher characters kind of just outclass him still. Alright, next up we have Marth, and he landed roughly in the middle once again. He didn't get any significant changes, kind of just the same as last patch. Nothing more to say really. He does decent against most matchups if you play him right, and F smash tipper is still ridiculous as always. His biggest struggle is still his absolutely horrendous recovery, so until they buff that or they make his on-stage punish even stronger, he's gonna stay solid. Pichu got some minor changes. The main thing is that his thunder is really good now, because it does the thundercloud thing like from ult, and it's a lot quicker, so it's a lot easier to combo into. And I think they also changed her gravity with the new engine changes in the game, so it makes her punish a lot stronger. And they didn't really change anything in terms of nerfs, so she still has the insane discharge combos that can kill you at like 60 for breathing literally. Side B is still obnoxious. They actually changed the recoil damage off his neutral B, so that's good, I guess. A little bit more zoning for that. I don't know, I think he's still pretty oppressive. He's in a weird tier where like he has this really volatile punish, but yeah, obviously he's actually like 50. 50 is basically kill percent for this character. But yeah, from the next two above him, it's around the same situation. DK moving up quite a lot. They reworked all his aerials, so his punish from pre 1.3.1.2 is back, and it's so oppressive. You do not want to just like get grabbed by this. He still has his combos into his grab, like back air and nair. Yeah, being back to his old grappler self just really put him in the right position. He could theoretically win any matchup if he played it right, because he can just kind of kill everyone. That being said, he could still lose any matchup because he's still Donkey Kong, gets comboed like crazy, has a pretty linear recovery. But yeah, he's one of those like characters. Another one of those characters is Puff, who's in a very similar position. The biggest change she got was rest, which now allows you to cancel the end leg extremely quickly. So this means that whenever you rest someone, it's not just a stock trade, which is huge. So you can kind of just get away with like killing people at like egregious percents. Like, I don't even need to explain how volatile rest is and how many combos she has into it. So now she's in this tier of viability, where even if you have a garbage neutral, you can get that X factor and just like kind of land a rest at any like percent, and then just take the stock at it like really early. It's like melee rest. And they also got some other changes. She also got some other changes to how her other moves worked, but not too keen in those. But yeah, definitely a lot better this patch. Alright, moving into the high tier. These characters are semi-meta level threats, and they can definitely place top 8s like pretty comfortably. Starting with Pikachu, who moves up quite a bit for 3 reasons. First of all, his quick attack is a lot faster, like they cut down the startup of this move had, so movement's a lot more competitive to go for than last patch. Secondly, Skull Batch got this insane buff. I mean, just look at this is literally just Nebro or ESK. But the biggest thing is, I have no clue what they were thinking with this Thunder rework, is the third thing. It's absolutely absurd. Even if you don't connect a strong hit, it gives so ridiculously, easily, and you don't even have to be good to land this. You can just run off stage and YOLO it, and it just deletes stocks. And not to mention, this Thunder actually connects into his combo, so he could kill people at 52. I don't know, he got some really nice changes. He is a menace. Next up is the new and improved Goku. He's just a really good character this patch. He's a heavy fighter, without a doubt the best recovery in the game, so he pretty much just never dies, and he just basically lives forever. He has an insane punish game to go with it, but at the cost of an extremely high learning curve. But once you learn how this character works, he can literally kill you off any part of the stage just because of how his multi-hits work. And you know, people like Castel just really show this. Go watch the Goku combo video I put out. This character is ridiculous. Just give him a better up throw. You can literally get punished for doing it. It's so bad. Mario's staying around the same. They removed his fireball auto cancel spam like Luigi, but at the same time they actually compensated him a lot with buffs, and a lot of these was they buffed the crap out of his sphere. This thing is just 1.3 Falco Dare. It's extremely easy to land in spikes, and you can even combo it out of up throw. It's just kind of really good. And his up fireball is still actually really reliable for conditioning approaches. You could still run up with it, and his combo game is still on point. I think it's just the perfect spot for him. He's right in the middle of the good characters. Ichigo moving down a little bit from last patch. He got a lot of minor nerfs to the startup, but pretty much all his moves, jab and nair being the most noticeable, so he kind of just became a slightly worse character in general, but he could still perform incredibly well at the top level, and I don't see him dropping any further than this, because, you know, it's Ichigo. You have huge sword, you can space around, pretty much deal with any matchup. Also, yeah, this is kind of a fun change. Game & Watch finally got nerfs, but he's still in the high tier, which is alright for me. His near drag downs got completely removed, so you can kind of just shield it or do a fast option to interrupt them, so you can't really do up B nair, and just kind of infinitely lock people. You can't really cheese with up air anymore as hard, because they reduced the knockback a lot. So this was deserved, because up air robbed stocks so stupidly early last patch. So now he's kind of just a nair bot like usual, but he can't really kill you at that low percents. So in other words, still pretty viable. Now moving into the A+ tier, you can expect to see these characters move from now on, being able to win PR tournaments and even majors with just a slightly high learning curve. Falco got a well-deserved glow-up, and oh my gosh, he's pretty good this patch. They reworked all of his moves and even gave his old stare back the oomph that it took away in 1.3.1. Lingering Bear is now safe on shield, which is really good for shield pressure, and he finally got his hops back. Overall, just a better character, and would be better if he didn't have one of the worst recoveries in the game still.
I don't know why they gave Ryu the fighting game character treatment.
He plays this game in dramatic mode this patch basically all the time, and this made him absolutely stupid, because if you thought he died to him in one interaction last patch, it's even more ridiculous now. A Ryu player named Gabriel actually placed second at Summit, with some of the best players in North America playing in that tournament. That being said, he's still an FGC character, so high learning curve, and he's pretty mediocre recovery. He still can make any matchup work though, pretty much. It's just he got outclassed by many characters that work better than him. And the Shoryu did get a nerf, the true Shoryu version actually, so you have to be up close to get this strong hit, but you can do that easily with the dramatic buffs. So yeah, he's still good. Yoshi also got a really big glow up that I don't see a lot of people talking about. Players like Vapor, who co-main Yoshi and Sora, just started taking a lot more set-top players with Yoshi this patch, and for good reason too. And the main talking point is his nair. Since he kills so much earlier from last patch, it's almost a crime. A damage buff to fair, removing a sour spot from up air. Yoshi just got so much love, and he's a force to be messed with now. Just do not let him win neutral, you're gonna get cooked. Speaking of neutral characters, Chibi didn't really get any changes, but he's moving up a lot as a sortie with insane tools in neutral to keep up with high tier threats. Up throw up air is still ridiculous, down air is still massive, so you can kind of just sit on plats and kind of camp people out. And fair and back air both can keep you at bay at all times at neutral. And don't get me started about the stupid neutral B. The main weakness though that prevents him from being higher is the punish game is a little weak. So he needs to win neutral a lot more than most characters and capitalize off of punish every single time, but it's a lot harder for him because of his tools. And he's also really light and has a linear recovery that is pretty easy to capitalize on. But yeah, also, Pocket finally works after years. We can stop making the same one joke. Now on to the S tier. You can expect to see these characters in almost every top 8 and winning majors consistently. Rounding it up with Sora. Not even that much of a drop off from last patch. They gutted a lot of his tools. Finally, dash attack is no longer a win button, and his punish feels like the way it should have been last patch, a high learning curve with a very good reward. The biggest thing that he goes for now are Thunder confirms off of like up air and down air. Since Thunder is still really good, they didn't really change that, and down air strings can still rob you at extremely early percents off the sides. So yeah, I think they did a good job with him. They also nerfed key stuff at the ledge, which is also good. Overall, a lot less of an autoplay character. You have to be a little bit more conscious with him, and yeah, he's pretty good. BD might actually be one of the biggest winners of this patch. He's extremely fast now. They buffed the crap out of his speed. His nair finally works. Like, this nair literally combos, plays neutral, does everything. And there's just so much to talk about. Like, jab is massive, does 1,000,000%. Back air is insane still. Like, they didn't touch that nerf it at all. Up B just kills throughout like the entire hitbox. And up throw up there is even more impressive with his speed. Quite literally, the only two drawbacks are his light, and he has a semi-linear recovery. He's literally Kirby if he had a sword and was a rushdown. Don't underestimate BD this patch. This character is ridiculously scary. ZSS is in a similar boat as Sora, except she didn't get punished too hard with nerfs. Her airspeed is a lot slower, so it's harder to follow opponents' TI, and I guess neutral is also a little harder. Her flip kick also got a nerf, so it's a little bit slower, so that decreases her offstage presence. And I guess a buff is technically that they gave her an actual dash grab, which she didn't have last patch. So I guess she can have a quicker grab option instead of being put in 50 years of end lag every time she goes for a grab. Her recovery is still hard to challenge though, and her punish is also still really good. You just can't really kill everyone off one interaction anymore like last patch. You kind of need to win neutral maybe 2 or 3 times and need to work for reads a little more. Sonic is a big winner from the shift in the meta primarily, and also got a lot of quality of life changes. Notably, up smash finally works how it should, and double springing isn't as clunky to use. He didn't get any nerfs and is a constant scare threat. In a meta of fast rushdowns and scary punish games, Sonic solidifies himself as a top 10 and even has a lot of cheese factor because he can do things like throwing people off stage with just like back throw or F throw and just fair them because fair has such a strong base knockback, so this screws a lot of characters with just bad recoveries. Congratulations to Samus for being the only zoner to make it to the top 10. She's in a similar spot to Sonic in that she got really not that many nerfs, only a rework to her fair which doesn't stack knockback anymore, meaning her punish game is a lot kind of different routes now. She still has charge shot, which is just that big ball of death, but she still has confirms into that just kill you at 50, and also has tools like Zare not getting changed is huge. She's kind of in a place like last patch Link where she's like a zoner with crazy zero to death potential. They didn't really nerf her though, so she's kind of just staying around the same. Captain Falcon also staying in the same spot. They made his combos a lot more volatile this patch with the engine changes. Since almost every character also got hit stop changes, Falcon just is extremely fast and can capitalize off of these changes pretty well. He was already good last patch, and a lot of his not as good matchups got nerfed, and I don't have to repeat myself, but rushdown and rushdown meta, go figure. So yeah, he can just kind of kill you at 60 with knee combos. He has just so much stuff. Apparently they made Gentleman easier to hit, but you kind of have to match it like crazy, so not really as easy. But yeah, he's still insane. The only bad thing is probably fast forward and bad recovery, but he more than makes up for it for just being able to zero to death you all the time. Now moving on to the top 5 who get their own tier. These characters are undisputedly better than everyone else by a far margin honestly, for having insanely overtuned kits and just getting a lot of love from the devs and no nerfs. At number 5, we live in a world where Sandbag, the joke character, is now in top 5 in Super Smash Bros. 2. I wish I was being biased, but I even asked other pros who agreed on me on this take. Sandbag genuinely got no nerfs. His punish game is still ridiculous, his fair is huge, he has insane, all of his moves are still insane, but the biggest change was the bomb regrabs. If you want to know, last patch, this is what a bomb regrab looked like. Yeah, it was really hard and kind of a precise tech that required a lot of spacing, because if you slid off with the bomb last patch you go into freefall, but now if you slide off, you don't go into freefall. So this means you could literally just do any move or air dodge and just grab the bomb instantly. So this changes the dynamic of so many bad matchups. You can literally just camp for bombs and kind of just throw them at opponents and they die 50. Like, I think the biggest thing though for this is that it's really broken, but at the same time you can like keep Sandbag at bay if you're like fast and have a projectile. But at the same time, it's just so hard to deal with because you don't know which platform on off stage is gonna go for it. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for me though, like for his viability, is that a lot of his bad matchups got nerfs last patch. For example, Sora, Link, and definitely Isaac. And I don't know why they just refuse to nerf this character. But so before we move on, I'm gonna say if the devs are watching this, please don't cut the character's punish. Like, his punish is the best thing about this character. It makes him so good. Keep all of his tech, keep all of his punish. Just make the grabbable bomb off the platforms a weaker projectile, like a stronger Link bomb, and nerf the damage output. That's all I ask for. Keep everything the same. Please. Okay, I'm heard? Good. Number 4 is Fox. I'm really confused why he got no nerfs either this patch. I guess the devs are just melee glazers. But I'm looking at the patch notes here. They buffed his down air, like, and they also made shine canceling easier. So shine cancel up smash is really easy this patch. Like, sure, you can argue it's Fox and like he's very volatile, but man, when I tell you this character has potential to win any matchup and kill you off any interaction, I mean it. He has everything an SSF2 character wants. A decent, okay projectile, a good frame data, combo game, bear in the corner, just plain broken flat out. If I had to change anything, it would probably just be like making him slower, to be honest. Like, I don't even know, he's so overtuned. Okay, now imagine Fox with disjoints and better projectiles. Yeah, Crystal also got like no changes. They only nerfed her like Jab Infinite, and she literally like has everything else is like the same as last patch. Side B still confirms into death at almost every percent. Back air literally just as an omni aerial and fast and safe and lagless. Her recovery is also by far like the safest of all 3 species. The fact that she can also just change her playstyle entirely to just running away and throwing grenades like a zoner just shows volumes on how insane this character is. Oh, if you launch your opponent too far away in the middle of a combo, oh, you got Sniper, you're fine. You can just challenge any recovery with Sniper. That move is insane. But yeah, this character is ridiculous. But I think the top 2 honestly outclassed her. So I think the top 2, these characters are interchangeable based off preference, but ultimately I gave number 2 to Sheik. Sheik got a huge glow up this patch with a few nerfs, but she got such huge buffs to her better moves that it doesn't even matter. The biggest offender here is Fair. Look at how huge this is, and look at how early it kills, and look how you can string like 2 or 3 of them and put people off stage so consistently. And guess what, you have a down throw that like combos perfectly into this Fair, or if they DI in, you have up air or back air or like literally anything for down air or down throw. Nair is also bigger, it plays neutral pretty hard, like, and still respect to the Sheik mains, honestly. This character is really technical and still hard to play, and much like Crystal and Fox, and even Sandbag. I think these are all characters with really high learning curves, but they're just they have such good tools. But so yeah, they're pretty hard, but I can't really say the same as much for number 1. Lucario is the number 1 character by virtue of one change, aura scaling. It just starts getting ridiculous, starting at 40%. Like, look at how early this F Smash kills Mario at 40% aura. That's like pretty much all I can talk about, honestly. Like, all of his moves just do insane amounts of damage now. You know, like Samus's big ball? Lucario has one too, and it gets huge, like, even faster because of the aura scaling, and it has a hitbox. So you, like, in bad matchups, you just charge that shit and like just wait for your opponent. You just condition them to charge the character that can kill you up for breathing at like 20. Oh yeah, guess what? Like, if you want to shield like incoming like dash attacks or anything, guess what? He has a command grab that kills you at like 50. Why not? This character has everything. He is so insane this patch. Like, it's so crazy that they barely like even buffed like any of his moves. Like, they just changed the aura scaling, and now he just like smash forward Lucario, except he gets his aura like so much earlier. I don't know. It sounds like I hate this character, but he's just really good, and it feels like he is incredibly privileged. I don't know. He's just so good. Anyway, yeah, that's my tier list for SSF2 version 1.4. Here's the full tier list for context. I think a lot of characters, overall, my thoughts are that like lots of characters got buffs. So like anyone below the top 5, a lot of them are pretty close in terms of viability, except for like Tails. And the main thing I just disagree with is the reworked characters. I think that if they just do another hotfix to polish up some stuff, I think it would definitely help out. in terms of like that sort of thing, because that's my main gripe. I really don't like what they did to Meta Knight or Lloyd or even Tails. Like, these are characters with such good animations. I think they deserve a little more love. But other than that, yeah, I guess that's it for the video. Like, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment down what your thoughts are if you disagree with any of my placements.
Alright, Editor Volley coming in here with a lot better mic than when I recorded this video, which I actually recorded this video around 3 months after the patch release, which is why I said 3 months in the beginning. But yeah, I think it's overall the same, and I really want to make a disclaimer that the tier placements are very loose, because I think anyone under the top 5 is very flexible, like they're all very close. But I think the top 5 is really the only strictly ordered like part of the tier list. But other than that, like, you can put any character in any order in between each tier. But yeah, like I said before, if you really enjoyed it, you know, I put a lot of time into editing it especially, so if you liked, like, obviously like, comment, subscribe, yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, peace!